morning, whenever you're watching this. Hope this video finds you well. I'm back, not to discuss the Liverpool game because there's a plethora of people on this channel, whatever channel I end up on, the forum, the main channel, wider West Ham, YouTube, that can discuss yesterday's game much better than I ever could. I'm here to discuss a sort of offhand comment I made after the Everton game, which was the nuclear button option for fans, which has been brewing in the back of my mind. And that was just before the international break. And during the international break, Gio and Gonzo done a video answering a question by a patron named Mark, who felt disillusioned with West Ham. And I feel the exact same way. Every point, and I'm sure lots of West Ham fans who watched that video, who didn't watch that video, feel varying degrees similar. And yeah, this will possibly a controversial video, but it's not what I want to do right next. It's called the nuclear button option for a reason. So if that video is not your cup of tea, if this video probably won't be either. So like, subscribe, think about joining the Patreon, and you jog on, you little rascal. You've had your 2 minutes of fun with me, which is more than what my girlfriend gets out of me. And on that, we'll compose ourselves first. Now, I should stress, this is the nuclear button option. This is not like there's other things I want. Preferably, I would want beforehand. Before, we break glass, hit the big red button. And that would be the nuclear button option, is a fan-owned, essentially protest club, and protest the owners, the stadium, what the club has essentially devolved into. There's been evolutions in terms of consistently being in the Premier League, but it feels as though that's came at a cost for everything. And year on year, the football club, through the ownership decision making, feels less like a football club and more like a corporation. Soon on the badge, it'll be West Ham United PLC or Limited or whatever. And I say that in jest, but with the concession removal, basically, they were acting like a corporation. Now, I know at the end of the day, they want to make money, they want a return on their investment, but it feels just, I know that's more of a recent bias thing, but these feelings of disgruntlement aren't just purely West Ham. It's also a disgruntlement towards football in general. The governing bodies, like the Premier League, FIFA, they're the worst. So, like, money hungry and this, that, and the other. UEFA, not as bad as FIFA, but the FA is spineless. It just feels as though the ship is basically being captained by someone who cannot see. Basically, they have a dream of grandeur, money, but it's all theirs. It's, football's money can't be shared with everyone. It needs to be theirs. And it has sort of put me off. I know at the peak of my love for football was probably one of the most corrupt. Now, I know Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini have been acquitted or not found to be corrupt, but I'm not having that. Not having that at all. But I know what yous could say. You could say, well, you're suggesting we abandon, all that money we spent, time, effort, love and passion we've had for West Ham to go take it somewhere else. I agree. This is why it's the nuclear button option. I would prefer new owners who aren't like a Middle East oil state government taking over. I wouldn't want like an American investment bank. I wouldn't want a trend chasing Hollywood star to come in and take us over. I would want the German model, the 50+1. Now I think there's 2 clubs in Germany, the Bundesliga, that aren't. I think it's RB Leipzig and Bayer Leverkusen that are exempt from this 50+1. But I'd that's what I want. That's my preferred model. But that would never happen because that would have needed to happen when, say, the Premier League, or just before the Premier League was incorporated. The clubs now have too much power and essentially too much greed to basically introduce something like that, because it, dilute the power. And as much as I wouldn't mind that, because at the end of the day, the football's for the people, not the owners. It will never happen. And that's sort of my thought of why maybe a protest club would be something to do, because it would have everything I want now. Because I'm not bothered about being in the Premier League anymore. Most fun I've had recently has been Europe. I don't think we're going to get that. We've essentially, again, sold our soul to, have access to a shopping mall that you could find anywhere else in the country, and just an awful stadium experience. I've been once. I never want to go again. I'll say I went at the Europa League Seville game. The night was amazing. The football, it's incredible. However, this experience getting there, getting into the stadium, you've heard it all before. Getting out the stadium, my God. My granddad, who's a Blackpool fan, I thought I'd throw that in there. I was in the Blackpool end during the playoff final because me and my dad couldn't get tickets. He came with me. He has osteoporosis, and I think getting from the London Stadium to the train station nearly killed him. um, but no, like the fan club would have what I'd want. It'd have. I've never had that opportunity to make friends at West Ham. If we could, if we'd done that, I would be able to. I'd be more willing to go down because it's incredibly expensive. I know I could get the coach down, but me and my partner are thinking about moving out together. I can't afford to make that trip down. I know that's less to do with West Ham and the sort of pathetic infrastructure or travel infrastructure of the country, but I need to go from Glasgow to London, and I can't do it on a whim. I need to plan like weeks and weeks at. And I know, oh, boo, woe me. But in the last season, Upton Park, I'd done double digits of games. I think I'd done about 10 home games and 5 or 6 up north away days. Methinks I'm not going to do that again. So, like, it would also feel like I am a part of this fan-owned club, and it's worked. It's working right now. FC United of Manchester, and I know, but when I was originally meant to make this video, I was going to bring them up, but they became, there's that big protest, and then Eric Cantona's taken over, as well, and it just looks, a happier place, and that was originally proposed to happen in 1998. There was original discussions when 6 years after the class of 92. Remember that. If you don't remember the class of 92, Gary Neville will break into your house and tickle your feet whilst you sleep. I'm not making it up. It's not the rules. It's how I perceive Gary Neville would do to you if you forgot the class of 92. So 1998, the year of my birth, Rupert Murdoch was meant to take over Manchester United. The king of parasites, actually. But then in 2005, after Malcolm Glazer took over, the fans were like, nope, no, I have a accounts degree. I still don't understand how he was able to own Manchester United. It just seems so dodgy. And the fact that they've never put a penny in, but they've taken so much money out, it's criminal. And I feel as though we could do that. Yesterday's opponents, Liverpool, they have a protest club, AFC Liverpool. The A does not stand for athletic, it stands for Affordable Football Club Liverpool. And I feel, again, you can berate me, call me a traitor. Fair, that's fair, but this is not like, we gotta do it now. Action plan number 1. It's more just, we should have a discussion about it, and maybe if things do get worse for us, we go, okay, we're going to put this into action. So yeah, this is quite long. Cheers. Goodbye. Love yous.